The desert of Rephidim stretched wide and empty, a land of shimmering heat and whispering winds. Israel, newly freed from the chains of Egypt, marched across the sand like a single heartbeat. They were a people still learning to trust the God who had split the sea and drowned Pharaoh's army. But in the wilderness, freedom would be tested. Far beyond the dunes, hidden among the ridges, watched a ruthless tribe, the Amalekites. Nomads of the desert, swift and merciless, they preyed on the weary and the slow. As the Israelites rested from their long journey, a dark cloud of warriors began to move. Spears caught the glint of the sun. The sound of war drums rolled like distant thunder. Without warning, Amalek struck. Cries of alarm tore through the camp. The elderly and the children were the first in danger. Dust and chaos filled the air. The people who had only recently tasted liberty now faced their first true battle. Moses, the prophet of the Most High, did not hesitate. He called for his young aide, Joshua, a man of courage though still new to the ways of war. "Choose some men," Moses commanded, his voice steady despite the rising fear. "Tomorrow, go out and fight with Amalek. I will stand on the hilltop with the rod of God in my hand." Joshua bowed and turned to gather fighters, ordinary men who had never before raised a sword in defense of their nation. That night the camp hummed with nervous preparation, sharpening blades, whispering prayers, glancing at the stars for courage. At first light, Joshua led his chosen warriors into the valley where the enemy waited. The clash of shields and the cry of warriors shattered the morning stillness. High on a nearby hill, Moses climbed with two companions, Aaron, his brother, and Hur, a trusted elder. In his hand, Moses held the staff of God, the very rod that had struck the Nile and parted the Red Sea. He raised it toward heaven, a silent plea for divine help. Below, the battle raged. At first, Israel surged forward, pushing Amalek back. But Moses noticed something strange. Whenever his hands remained lifted, Israel prevailed. When his arms grew weary and lowered, the Amalekites gained ground. Sweat ran down his brow. His arms trembled. The fight below swung like a pendulum with the rise and fall of his hands. Aaron and Hur quickly understood. They rolled a stone beneath Moses so he could sit. Then, standing on either side, each grasped one of his arms.